Hello, my wrist-free warriors. So this wrist-free flow is going to prepare us and maybe even take us into upside down poses. But James, how can I go upside down without using my beautiful wrists? I hear you cry. Well, what we can do is we can actually work on the forearms and the elbows quite a bit. Provided you don't have a shoulder or elbow injury, this flow will give you the strength and maybe help you start to take flight going upside down on the forearms. Now, we're going to use a wall, so make sure you have a nice big open space of wall you can put your mat next to. You don't have to take your feet off the ground at all, but I am going to give options that start to maybe move in that direction if you feel ready for it. As always, please make sure you feel ready for this practice and that you're aware of anything you have to do to make yourself feel comfortable and steady as we begin. Let's have some fun. So friends, make sure your mat is positioned somewhere near a wall where you have plenty of space. I'm going to give options with a yoga brick. You don't have to have a yoga brick. You could use a big book or anything that's a similar shape and a bit sturdy. But if you don't have anything, don't worry, it's not essential. We're going to pop this to one side for now and let us begin. So we're going to stand at the front of the mat. You bring your feet about as wide as your hips, please. Gently turn your palms forwards. If you fancy, give your wrists a little kiss. We're going to have a nice rest in this practice. And then lift the chest towards the heavens. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. As you inhale, sense the spine lengthening upwards. As you exhale, sense the shoulders dropping, releasing down. One more. And we'll start to flow. Follow me as you breathe in. Bend your knees, hips come back, arms forwards. Little moment of chair pose. Imagine you're holding that brick between your hands. Let your shoulders move down away from your ears. We're going to come back up, hands to the sides. 2 more. Inhale, arms forwards, hips a bit lower this time. Shoulders down. And then coming back up, a last time. And then following me, we're going to fold forwards. You can keep the knees bent, fingertips maybe come to the ground. As you breathe in, lift your chest halfway up, shoulders back away from ears. Fingertips down, left foot steps back, back knee on the floor, lunge. Inhale, lift your arms towards the heavens. And then follow me, turn your palms forwards. And can you exhale, pull the elbows down beside you. Couple more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, elbows pull down and back. And opening across the chest, strengthening your back muscles. And then from here, release. Hands come forwards. Tuck your back toes, high lunge. Now, turn your back heel down to the floor, warrior 2. Check that beautiful front knee. It's right above the front ankle. Back leg nice and strong. We're going to flow. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Then reach both arms forwards, breathe out. 2 more times. Exhale, really reaching, lengthening. Last one. And this time as you reach forwards, leave the hands where they are. Lift the back heel, turn the pelvis forwards, and now sweep the arms back. Lean the chest forwards, dragon wings. Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding. 1 more. This time, step forwards, mountain pose. Second side, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Maybe the legs a bit longer this time. Lifting your chest, long spine. Fingertips down, right foot back, knee down. Breathe in, sweep the arms towards the sky. Breathe out, settle. We're going to turn those palms forwards and pulling elbows down and back. Lift the chest. 2 more, breathe in. Pulling down. Breathing in. And you feel strength in your back body. And then arms reaching forwards. Back toes tuck, up we come, high lunge. And turn that back heel down, warrior two. Again, check your front knee is nice and steady. It's going to stay really fixed in space. Let's reverse, breathing in. Reaching both hands like you're reaching for the sun. Press through your front heel. Smooth exhale. Getting warmer, last one. And now turn on the ball of the back foot. Heel lifts, pelvis levels, arms back, dragon wings. It's tricky, that one, right? Arms coming up. And two more. From here, as the arms lift, step forwards, mountain pose. Now for a moment, follow me. Reach both arms forwards. Imagine you're holding the brick between the hands. Straighten your arms. And now can you reach your fingers forwards a bit? Ha. And now can you take your shoulders up? Ooh. And now can you take your shoulders back? Ha. Feels weird, right? And now take the shoulders down. So we've just drawn a square. We're going to do two more. Shoulders forwards, arms straight. Shoulders up. Back. Down. Forwards. Up. Back. Down. Forwards, we're going to reverse direction. Back. Up. Forwards. Down. Let's keep going. This is really good for strengthening the muscles around your shoulder blades, which is going to help us when we come onto the forearms in a moment. Last one. And down. Check out the arms like an octopus. From here, inhale, arms lifting. Exhale, folding, bowing to the earth. Breathe in, lift your chest. Left foot steps back again, back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, elbows down and back. Drop the hips forwards a bit this time. Two more, breathing in. Breathing out. Soft, deep breaths. And now release. Place those hands on that front knee for a sec. And then could you open the arms out to the right, twisting. It's easy to overly tense the shoulders here. So how could you soften the shoulders, but use your abs to turn a little bit more? Take another breath or two. Wrists nice and free. And then come back to center. Ease that foot back, come into a kneeling position. Forearms coming down to the floor for the first time. Now in this first one, a couple options for your hands. Option one, you could have the fingers linked and the hands clasped, if that feels okay in your wrists. Option two, palms flat, keeping them a little bit wider. I'm going to go for option two. And now from here, straighten one leg back behind you. Press through the heel a couple of times. And then we'll change sides. Predictable, I know. But slow breath. Calm, steady breaths. Okay, we're coming into a forearm plank. So set up by pressing the elbows down. Check they're right below your shoulders, not miles out. And then one foot back, then the next. So we're going to hold for 10. Hold for 9. Really push those elbows, lift high away from the floor. 8. 7. Could you tuck your pelvis under, tuck your tailbone under? 6. Squeeze your glutes. 5. No back bending. Scoop the belly in. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lower down into Sphinx Pose. Still pressing through the elbows. This time lift the chest. And imagine you have a beautiful necklace on or something nice that you're trying to display proudly. You want everybody to see it because it's so beautiful. Spread the fingers, lift the chest. We're going to go one more round. Tuck the toes, lifting the pelvis from here. Powerful core plank. Option 1, breathe here. Option 2, lean forwards, bring the shoulders over the wrists, push down through the elbows. Really lift the hips, lift the upper back, holding 3. If you're shaking, so am I. 2. And 1, knees down. Child's pose just for a moment. Gather your breath again. And then from here, coming up to the knees, left foot steps forward, second side. Arms rising. Elbows back, hips forwards. 3, 2, and 1. As you release, bring the right hand to the front knee, turn, then opening the arms wide like wings. But like wings, you can't tense them. See if you can soften. Aha. And then rotate through the spine. I'm breathing up into my chest to help lengthen my torso. Or I'm trying at least. Okay, from here as you come back to center, once again, coming back down onto the knees. Side plank this time, a little bit of strength. So come onto the right elbow. And then it's helpful to turn that right hand in a little bit. So you can bring it diagonally across the mat. And then we're going to lean into the elbow, stack the feet. I know it's quite strong. Left hand reaches up. And now lift your hips. But could you also lift the bottom ribs up? Really lift up through the side of the waist. 5, 4. If you want to challenge your balance, look up at your top thumb. 3. If you fell over, no problem. 2. And 1. Slowly lower the knees. Change sides. Bring that left hand in at a diagonal. And then leaning into the elbow. Your wrist and hand can be very light. Feet stack. Hips up. Lower ribs up. 5, 4. Go for height. 3. Maybe look at your top thumb. 2. There she is. And 1. Come down. Child's pose. 3 deep breaths. We can get warm and get strong quick when we work on core and shoulder strength. For now though, we're slowly coming back up and just find a simple way to come to stand for a moment. We're going to flow a bit more. At the front of your mat, inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Same sequence. Lifting the chest, breath in. Left foot steps back, back knee down. Arms up, pulling down just once this time. And then hands come forwards. High lunge, back knee lifts. This time opening your arms to the right. Exhale and twist. Take a pause. Slowly lift your left hand, reversing slightly. And then warrior 2, gliding round, back heel down. Breathing into reverse. Reaching for the sun. 2 more times. How could your legs be really strong and your arms very light and fluid? Back heel lifts, dragon wings. Just once, because this time, warrior 3. Start with the arms back, spread the toes, and as you lean forwards, back leg begins to lift. At first, just a little bit, and then dropping the chest, lifting the back leg to make a T shape. Reach the fingers back, point the back foot today. Option to take the arms forwards for 3 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Mountain pose. Take a moment, take a breath. Second side, inhale, arms lifting. Exhale, folding. Chest rising. The right foot comes back. As you breathe in, fingers reaching up for light. Strong back, exhale. Inhale, hands forwards, high lunge. When you're ready, open your arms to the left, standing twist. If you like the little micro details, could you squeeze your glutes on the right side? That'll help stabilize your hips. Reversing, and then warrior 2. Take a moment, root to ground. And then reversing breath in. Reaching for light. And 2 more. Keep that back leg nice and straight and strong, folks. Last one. And then pivot on the back foot. Dragon wings, nice and low. Arms lifting up. Catch your breath. I say to myself, warrior 3, lean forwards, back foot floating. Standing knee can totally be bent, by the way, but begin to drop the chest, lift the back foot. Option 1, breathe here. Option 2, take the arms forwards for 3, for 2, for 1, mountain pose. Let's take a moment just to stand, pull my shorts down. If you like, you could join the palms in front of the heart. Take a deep inhale. Exhale through your mouth. 1 more time. So release your hands. We're now going to move a little bit closer to the wall. So I'm not going to slide my mat against the wall, but you could do. And we're going to come to all fours with the feet quite near the wall. Give yourself a moment. Make sure you've got your brick or big book nearby, if you have one. If you don't, no worries. So we're going to practice dolphin, but with the heels against the wall. So I'll demonstrate first. What I'm going to do is come onto my forearms like I did before. Now I could link my fingers if that felt good the first time, or I could keep my hands apart if that felt good. I'm going to link for now. And then this time, rather than coming into a plank, I'm going to come into kind of a down dog on the elbows, dolphin. And notice my heels are against the wall. And I'm going to press into my elbows to send my hips back towards the wall. So join me now. It takes a bit of experimentation as to how close you are to the wall. I'd come to all fours and give yourself a good 3 or 4 inches away from the wall first. Choose your hand position and up we come. Knees lift, hips lift. Now wiggle your feet until your heels are touching the wall. Isn't that nice? Now send your hips up and back. The legs don't have to be straight. But sense how this strengthens and stretches your shoulders at the same time. See if you could relax your neck and your jaw, pressing the heels into the wall, lifting the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down. Take a little pause and a rest. Having the fingers linked together is more accommodating for the shoulders. It's going to require less of a stretch. So it's a good way to practice at first. Long term, it's really good to space the hands apart. You'll get a deeper stretch in the shoulder, but also a lot more stability. And that stability is useful when you start going upside down. So if you do have that brick, what we're going to do is place the hands on the mat like this, but with the brick between the palms. Take a moment to really look at my hands. So I've made an L shape, and I'm going to take the L shape around the brick. So when I bring the brick down, my palms are flat on the floor. Check your palms are flat on the floor. Elbows below shoulders. Now, if you don't have a brick, just imagine sometimes your hands will slide in, and the brick is just there to help prevent that at first, but it's not essential. Okay, let's go again. Press through the elbows. Really lift the chest away from the floor, and up the hips come. Heels pressing into the wall. Lifting the hips high. I want you to focus on really pushing down through the elbows and lifting away from the floor. Try to get higher away from the floor with your chest. If this feels really uncomfortable in the shoulders, come down and link your fingers instead. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Come to a tall kneeling position for a sec. Let's just gently circle out one arm. Put yourself back together. And then on the other side. Just giving yourself a little breather in between. So we're going to continue playing with this, taking a rest, coming in and out. Let's keep it really playful, yeah? But this time what I want you to explore is really checking your elbows are below your shoulders. If your elbows start to come out, you're going to collapse into the floor and it's not going to be very stable or feel very nice. So check the elbows are below the shoulders. And now this time, new option. Option 1, continue as we were, heels against the wall. Option 2, step your right foot up against the wall until the ball of the foot and the toes are on the wall. So take a look and now join me. And I'm going to be here and endure until you get there. Okay. Again, pressing through the elbows, lift away from the floor and start to send your chest towards the wall through the arms, getting a deep stretch. Okay, slowly replace that right foot. Let's change legs. Left leg coming up. Again, check your elbows aren't sliding out too much. Keep pressing. You've got this. I know it starts to get really strong. I'm feeling it. Okay, let's come down. Ooh. So, I'm going to come to a seated position for a moment. You could sit on your heels like me. This is really uncomfortable for a lot of people though. So you could just come cross-legged instead. Give your arms a wiggle. Octopus arms. Free things up. And then I'm going to ask you to do something really crazy. Give yourself a big hug. So take the arms out. Right arm on top. Give yourself a big old hug. Well done for making it so far. And now wiggle your hands to the outsides of the shoulders or as far around as is manageable. And lift the elbows up. Now from here, I'm going to invite you to keep the elbows lifting, but can you round your back and hollow your chest? Push your back towards the wall. 2 deep inhales into your back. Really stretching it out. And then release for a moment. Open the arms like Kate Winslet in Titanic. And then come back, left arm on top, big hug. She had the motivation of Leonardo DiCaprio behind her though. Elbows rising and then rounding the back. Deep breaths to stretch a bit more into the upper back. Okay, and then release. Give it a little shake out. So I'm going to demonstrate, watch me first, where we're going to go next. Now, you could continue playing with the versions you've been playing with. Maybe that's enough for today. Get strong with those. If you feel confident in those, this time, make sure you've got lots of space around you. And then this time, when I step that right foot up against the wall, I'm going to push into the ball of the foot. And as I do that and straighten my leg, it's going to start to lift my left foot off. So I could do that just a bit. If I feel really confident, maybe I step the left foot on the wall. Okay, now I'm collapsing a bit, so I'm going to really push through my elbows. And maybe I walk both feet up at the wall until I'm in a diagonal line. Nice and safe. I can't fall backwards. Squeeze the glutes. And then we'll come down. So let's give it a go together. You could start on either foot, really. I'm doing it with you. Elbows below shoulders. Palms flat, a little bit relaxed. Heels against the wall. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift one foot up and you stay there. Or maybe start pushing into the ball of the left foot. Right heel maybe comes up, or floor heel comes up, and maybe step one foot on the wall. Okay, now correct the shoulders, push through the elbows, lift up. Maybe walk the feet up a little bit higher. And I'm looking towards the wall so my neck is long. Hold for 3. You've got this. Hold for 2. And 1. Walk the feet down. Take a child's pose. I'm going to pop my head on the brick because it's there. And my arms back. Big exhale. Okay, if you feel like you've used up all the strength you have in your shoulders, I'd recommend child's pose for another 10 breaths or coming into dolphin one more time. Now those of you who are like, but I've got lots of energy and strength left, great. If that's you, one final thing you might play with here. So this time what I might do is as I take my feet up the wall, if I'm coming into this version, at first I might make a straight line, but then maybe I walk the feet down slowly so my hips start to come more over my shoulders. Now I want to make sure that I'm not going to fall away from the wall. My feet are really firm against it, but I'm lifting my hips up and my elbows up, and eventually I can walk the feet down so I make a kind of L shape. I'm going to look at my feet because I had a pedicure. And then when you're ready, you can come down. This is going to really challenge your shoulder blades and build loads of stability and strength. So let's come up if you're not there already. And I'll do it again. I'm punishing myself for you. But the strength feels good. Again, maybe you're not coming up, but if you are, maybe you walk the feet down. Make sure your feet feel really glued to the wall. Press through the elbows, lift the hips, holding 4. Look towards your toes, holding 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Whew, child's pose, I think. Empty your exhale. Then let's start to come up, remove the brick. And I'm going to walk forwards on my forearms to save my wrists. And we're going to lie down. What a relief, hey? We're going to do some nice shoulder stretches now as we cool things down to the end of our practice. So, could you bring your left arm out to the side in an L shape, so at a right angle, like an L. Place the elbow and the palm on the floor. And then ever so slightly roll onto your left side. You can use the right foot a little bit behind you. We're looking to stretch the chest here. This can be quite strong. Gently press the left elbow down. Gently press the left shoulder down, searching for a stretch across the shoulder and the chest. And then let's release. And we'll change sides, so right arm gets its turn. Again, make sure it is in a proper L shape. And then maybe leaning onto one side, rolling. Press the elbow and the shoulder down until we get a stretch. If you focus on slow, long exhales in these deep stretches, often they become more manageable or less intense. Long breaths help. And then we're going to roll back to center and just take a moment in Locust Pose. You can reach your fingertips back, press your pelvis down, lift the chest. Option 1, fingertips reach back. If it feels okay in your wrists, you could link the thumbs or even the fingers and draw the knuckles back, floating the feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back onto the forearms, onto the knees. Then we're going to find a way to come round and sit. So take your legs out into a V shape. And go for a moderate V, not your widest, not the most narrow, somewhere that feels about 60-70% of your range. If it's difficult to sit tall, you could very gently use your fingertips behind you to keep the chest up. But we're going to turn to have the chest pointing down the left leg. So chest looks down the left leg. And now bring the right hand and the left hand around the front thigh, if that's available. If you find yourself slumping back, keep the hands behind you. If the hands are around that front thigh, left arm by the ear, Statue of Liberty moment. Left arm comes up, and then we're going to bend over towards the right leg. So I'm mirroring you here. I'm going to take a side bend, I could lean into my elbow. If I've got lots of space, elbow on the floor. If you're super bendy, eventually maybe catching the toes overhead. Yeah. We're stretching out the lats, those big muscles in the sides of your body and your back. And channel your inner ballet dancer. We all have one. And then slowly release. And then turning to the other leg. You can rest in the elbow as the right arm comes up, Statue of Liberty. And then leaning over. You might notice I'm trying gently to turn my chest towards the ceiling. So rather than looking down, I'm looking up, looking for light, optimism. Two more breaths. And then slowly come back. Okay, we're going to lie down, final cool down. Slowly come onto your back. Let's give the hips a last little bit of love here. Could you cross your right ankle over your left knee? And you can let your arms rest beside you, option 1. If catching behind the left thigh or shin with the hands feels okay and the wrists, go for it. It's not essential. You could be here with me or here. And start to focus on the breath, really slowing, really lengthening. And then release the leg and switch sides. Nice and simple. You can gently send the knee away using the strength of your hip to do that. So pressing it away. And then let's release. Take the arms wide into a T shape. We're going to take a final twist. Bring both knees into your chest. And slowly, with a bit of control, drop them over to one side. Doesn't matter if they come all the way down or if they have to slide forwards a bit to be comfortable. Just place them somewhere that feels good. And you can gently turn your head to look away from the knees. Like they've done something that you don't want to look at. Giving them a silent treatment. No, your knees are wonderful. They don't need the silent treatment. Okay, come back, and then let's glide the knees to the other side. One side might feel a bit stiffer than the other. That's totally normal. But gently looking away from the knees. And then in your own way, coming back, we're going to just take a minute or two to rest in Shavasana. Shavasana is like, I think it's like backing up the hard drive, downloading all the stuff your body just learned and explored. So next time you come back stronger and more aware. Let's take a deep inhale together. Big sigh out. See if the muscles around your eyes and eyebrows could soften or release. And now check in with your jaw. See if anything could soften or ungrip there. And then gently scan down through your body with your awareness. Just notice if you can relax through the shoulders, the arms, and all the way down towards your feet. Softening or becoming a little heavier in the bones. You can let the breath go completely. No more effort. And start to wiggle fingers and toes as we come out. Taking a deep breath in. And a big breath out. You can stretch your arms overhead, wiggle, wriggle. And then walk your feet in, give yourself a well-deserved big hug. We're going to find our way up to sit to close. I'm going to rock up today. I don't always, but there we go. And then let's take a moment to sit to ground. If it feels good to close with the hands on the legs or somewhere at the heart, feel free. See if your shoulders could drop down and back. Bowing head to heart in honor of our growing strength, not just physical strength, but strength of the heart as well. We'll close here. Peace, peace, peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So, thank you so much for joining. Type in the comments below. Let me know how you get on with this. How are your shoulders feeling? Be good to yourselves. Be easy with yourself. If this sequence worked for you, you could take it a couple times a week to get really strong. Also, feel free to subscribe so you can catch up on all the new things that I'm going to be sharing with you. And I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day and week.